Yo, Tony D back. Batman Dark City. Issue 453, Part 2. Peter Milligan on the script. Kieron Dwyer doing the art. Dennis Janke doing the colors. And I might add, Mignola gives you fair warning what you're fixing to get into. Great covers in this series. Portrays the horror, the gothic elements there. Total chaos. Love it. Let's get into this bad boy. We start off Batman, the last issue. He follows his last clue to a graveyard. And to segue from the last issue, the Riddler is just twisted right now, and we're not really sure what's going on, and we're getting flashbacks to an occult ritual that happened in Gotham that involves Barbatos, the Bat Demon. We're in the middle of things here. It's a good setup for the middle, and I love how the Batman is drawn that way with the silhouette, the dark, and you just have this grotesquerie of zombies coming at him. It just adds to that mystic flavor that's going on. Zombies are perfect for that. Batman, totally love the paneling. It just mirrors the chaos of what's going on, and Batman is not as surgical here as he was in the previous issues and fights, where he would take down the Riddler's goons with precision. Right here, it's very chaotic. And he's using his detective skills, though. He's figuring out there's something different about these zombies. They're very heavy. He's deducing what's going on. And you have the Riddler watching with his men. And one of the zombies acts distinctly like a human. Great shot. That's just, you just got to marvel at that grotesquerie. I love how there's no word bubbles or anything. It really reflects the madness that Batman is spiraling into, and just the whole chaos and the frantic pace that Batman has to go through. Because the Riddler has 5 babies that he kidnapped. Batman has, I think he has one of them right now, but that just intensifies the whole urgency of what's going on, solving the riddles, getting there. Then this stuff springs up for no real reason. The Riddler is just very twisted right now. You're still not really sure why he's doing what he's doing and how he's doing it, but we keep going. Batman figures out these are robotics. Still have that frantic, look at all the bats, that's great. One of them is a human. And we see here where the Riddler is just, he is even deeper into his madness, where he's just brutal right now, where he has some explosives rigged on this guy. It's just, his men are even disposable. That's the madness that the Riddler is into now. We're not used to seeing the Riddler mad like that. He's usually a flamboyant, goofy trickster. This book really pushes some issues. It goes places you're not going to see many of these books back then that they would go to, and we'll get to that. The Riddler is just showing more of his descent into his madness. And the Batman is contemplating. He sees him over there, and yeah, that's a great shot. There's these shots where I just think of Barbatos. They're just totally intertwined. It's good stuff. They get away. And the only reason why they get away is because Batman is exhausted, confused, and there's kids on the line that it's just that, the stakes are that high. He finds one of them. One of the infants was left there, and it's just bizarre that the Riddler would do what he's doing. And then he gets another riddle, and the riddles are very easy for Batman. He's being manipulated. That's very easily established. And Batman even mentions that, I believe in the previous issue, that these riddles are easy. It's you as the reader figure it out quick. He's being manipulated. These things that he's having him do, they're very methodical. He wants him to do them. And then we go back to the historic unease of this gothic ritual that they're doing in Gotham. It was just a very bizarre ritual. They're wanting to summon Barbatos so they can have his powers, and they would put Barbatos in one of them. But it all goes south and they get out of there. But they leave the ritual offering, the young lady in there, and you get this shot where it's just buried over. This is a great time travel sequence where you just see Gotham just grows over this ritualistic, the body's still in there. Really, Gotham has become the graveyard for the victim of that ritual. Batman, his thoughts are very fragmented here. It just mirrors the unraveling of his psyche right now, where it's just the urgency. Look at his face. He's very worn out. The Riddler has got him. He has him unraveled and in a dark place with what he's doing. And he has a dream here. And this was very interesting, where it implies that Gotham created Batman. Like, the city itself orchestrated the situation that created our hero. This was very interesting to me. And he wakes up horrified. You see how horrific it is. Batman, he is always tied to Gotham. Gotham is a character. It's a living thing. It really is. We have the Riddler orchestrating other things. Even his men don't know what he's up to. They just want to take care of Batman, but the Riddler is still on this trajectory, just in the madness, pure madness. Batman follows. Next clue, he goes to a bar and he's looking. There's a little levity here with this gentleman. He's an off-duty police officer, and love the shadow. Batman's looking for anything unusual, and then you get this, like that vehicle crashes in and these dogs are just let loose. Look at the horror there. And you get more of these panels. Just the paneling in this issue is very different than the first one. It's just very chaotic, just reflecting the chaos, just everything just spiraling out of control. Batman just surviving each encounter that the Riddler has set up. It really is a great ride. When you're reading it, I couldn't stop reading it. And look at that. Bam. That was his only move. And what's weird is this guy gives him the knife. There's more of that. There's a manipulative feel. You can tell this is one of the Riddler's guys. And it's like, why have him do that? And he goes to the next place, and Riddler just talks on the radio and pretty much tells him there's a kid that needs you. Someone needs your help. Come get him. The Riddler is making it easy. The manipulation is just, it's there. Wow. And he was juggling these ping pong balls earlier, which was really bizarre right here. You know, what's going on with that? And it's very insidious. And he's teasing that the baby's putting that in its mouth. And it just adds to the frantic pace that Batman has to. He's got to save this child. And the Riddler is just blatantly taunting him. And he's just, yeah, we're here. There's no secretive, there's no villainous type stuff. It's just straight out, he's a serial killer or just a psychotic killer. It's not really a cunning villain he normally is. And so Batman gets beat down even more. This shows you that Batman's worn down, where these guys could get the drop on him. In the first issue, he showed some ninja qualities that he was precise. He would have took these clowns down fast. And this right here, a lot of books from this era would never go into this territory. It's really because the baby's choking and Batman cannot get the ping pong ball out of its throat. He has to perform a tracheotomy, and that's where he's thinking about doing it. He's talking about the only way I can do this is perform a tracheotomy, and a lot of books won't go that far. Back then, this was, I believe this is the 80s. Even mainstream books, you're hard pressed to go that far. New territory. Peter Milligan, I'm telling you, this is an underrated read, and it just gets back to the whole re-imaging of the layers of the occult horror, and Gotham being an obvious character in this story. There's other stories where Gotham was an obvious character, but this one has so much symbolism tied to it. It really, you get a lot of the panel layouts with the gothic flair, creating that tone and the intensity and the pacing. It's frantic. If you like stuff like that, and just the redefinition of the Riddler being a terrifying force, and this really isn't a mystery book like a lot of your Riddler stories would be. It's more of a descent and just to mythic horror. If you're into that, psychological warfare, just the moral ambiguity, explore it and get that.